It's a year of decision in Livingston, California. On Wednesday, January 29th, 2020, the City Council, with Mayor Samra absent, voted to start the Proposition 218 process of raising water, garbage, and sewer rates. At stake is over $24 million in new wells, filtration systems, pipeline projects, all to address water quality problems Livingston has endured for years. Obvious problems like dirty-looking brown water and the not-so-obvious problems of toxins like arsenic and TCP. It's 2020 in Livingston, a year of decisions that will impact us for years to come.
And number 5, this is a discussion and possible direction regarding the Downtown Street Fair 2020. Ms. Benoit?
Good evening, everyone. So at your request from, let's see, when was it? Our December 17th meeting, I was asked to take an item to our Recreation Commission to discuss the length of our street fair. And so I actually have a couple of members of the commission here tonight in case you have any questions. But our recommendation is to accept the Recreation Commission's recommendation and host a fall 4-week street fair. So the street fair has been running in some capacity since 2006, and it went from 1 month to 2 months to 6 months. And so for the past 3 years, the street fair has developed into a certified farmers market, and the management was paid for by a grant from the USDA managed by Merced County Health Department. The grant ended September 29th. In light of financial constraints, the department has been asked to reduce expenses by 10%, and programming that will be affected by cuts is the street fair. So this item was presented, which I said December 17th, and we did take it back to the Recreation Commission for input. And at the January 23rd, 2020 commission, the commission voted 6-0 to make the event just 4 weeks and hold it in the month of October. Holding it for just 4 weeks will allow the program to almost break even and attract more vendors and entertainment for this short period of time. There was also input from the high school students, our LTAC group, and staff. Due to fundraising limitations at the high school, they were pretty excited that a lot of the clubs will probably get involved in the street fair. So.
Thank you. I see we have a member of the Rec Commission. Does anybody wish to comment on this item? Or just here for support? Yeah, I just thought of if somebody wanted to make a comment, Okay, thank you. This item is now open to the public. Does anybody from the public at large wish to comment on this item?
Well, I know that the city has been, a little bit, the reserves are a lot less now, but I think that, when I was mayor, I was glad to take it from 4 weeks to 6 months, and I know that, like I said, if you can't pay for it, you can't pay for it, but I know that the community loves the street fair, and I agree with if you guys want to reduce it, but I think I would recommend at least, 3 months. I know that Irene and Luis de la Cruz did it 1 year, and it was very, very supportive, and even 2 blocks. They had 2 blocks of vendors out there. It hasn't been very successful in the last few years, and I think that going with Irene and Luis de la Cruz, we have to pay a little bit, but I think that the community will be upset if we bring it down to a month. I think three months would be a lot more successful, and hopefully it'll bring back, like I said, some of the vendors. But I think changing it to having those other managers managing the market will do a lot better. So that's my recommendation, and it's up to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public? Okay, let's see.
Good evening, Council. Julio Millan, one of the commissioners for the Rec Commission. I understand some people like it for the street fair to prolong it more than a month. Unfortunately, with the cuts that we are making, obviously a lot of us have seen it out there, it doesn't take up 2 blocks. You guys cut it to 2 blocks. It's more like a block. It's the same vendors. It's the same people. It's not feasible to cut more money from the kids in the recreational program to keep the street fair running. We believe that 4 weeks makes it better. With 6 months, you keep hearing people, well, there's always next week. I can always go next week. I think if you cut it down to 4 weeks, they know it's going to run out. They'll be more eager to attend. Also, with Jackie said, it's getting harder for the students at the high school to raise funds using food because of all the new guidelines that they're putting. So one of the recommendations that we had made was to eliminate the fee for them, get them to come out here, get them to do some kind of fundraiser, get more people out here, get more families back involved. We think that would be a great way to boost revenue for the vendors and for the school to continue. Unfortunately, if it goes past 4 weeks, it's going to cost the department a little bit more money. If they wish to go to 6 weeks, then we have to find funding elsewhere. And that would have to be maybe the council or the superintendent could provide that funding for us because we're a little tight and we're trying to eliminate from raising the fees for different sports because I know it's already tight. We got certain families that have 3 or 4 children. It's a little hard to pay $300-400 for 1 season of sports. So it's either street fair longer or increase fees for children to attend sporting. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? It is now closed to public council discussion.
In regards to my comment or opinion, I'm supportive of the decision the Rec Commission has made. Julio, you've made great points and great discussion regarding the decision made by the Rec Commission. I know there's been some cutbacks in our departments, including the Recreation Department. So it does cost money to run it, months at a time. I think 4 weeks is feasible and affordable, especially in our current financial situation. I think, people do like it, but we've seen it firsthand out there. It's just very limited vendors, a very limited amount of people. I think if we constrain it to 4 weeks, there'll be more interest, more people willing to come out. better opportunities to have entertainment in those 4 weeks where people will be actually interested to come out and spend some time with their families. And then that gives an opportunity to continue to assess moving forward what we want to do with it. We want to expand it, lengthwise or the size of it. So yes, it gives an opportunity at least for 1 year to assess and see what we could do with the fair. I know at one point it was very successful in regards to Supervisor Espinoza hiring somebody at this current status. I don't think it'll be wise for the city to hire anybody to run the street fair. So I would say the best we could do is 4 weeks for now, and then continue assessing.
Thank you. Anybody else wants to make a comment? Mr. Kang?
Again, I appreciate the Rec Commission reaching out to our local schools and seeing how you can collaborate as being very creative and assisting with their efforts to fundraise and also trying to bring out families with our participation with the Downtown Street Fair as well. So great ideas.
Mr. Kang, any comment? Okay, then at this time, does anybody wish to make a motion or propose anything in the alternative?
Just looking for it right there.
So I'll make the motion to go with the recommendation provided by the Rec Commission of making the farmers market to 4 weeks for the next year and continue assessing for future.
I have a motion by Councilman Guerrero. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilwoman Baptista. May I have roll call, please?
Roll call, Councilmember Baptista,
Yes.
Councilmember Aguilar,
Yes.
Councilmember King,
Yes.
Mayor Samra.
Yes.
Motion approved by a vote of 4-0.
Okay.
If you're subscribed to the channel already, you might want to check and make sure you're still subscribed so you're notified whenever a new video goes live. And subscribe if you're new. Until next time, this is the Gardening Snail of Livingston, California, because not every critter is hiding under a rock.